Om Shanti, and a very good morning. Before we start the Murli, let's take a couple of moments to stabilize ourselves. To be one with what Baba has to tell us today through this Murli. We are continuing the Murli dated 23rd January 1970. The title of the Murli is Methods to Attain Success in Service. As you all must have heard yesterday, Baba spoke about doing seva by speaking less and letting the actions speak more. It's not only the good talking that would make a difference, but what would really make a difference is a good internal stage. So the constant purusharth that we children have to do is to move ahead in maintaining an avyak stage. Like Baba said, success is not dependent on lectures, but on your stage. There might be many good speakers, like how Praful Bhai said yesterday. There might be good orators, good speakers, good modulators. But that would yet be only a good lecture. What would really make a difference is how much stable you are in your avyak stage. And lastly, Baba said, you need the power to control your waste thoughts. So continuing from yesterday, before you begin a task, a very good sample is created. Brahma Baba himself is a very good sample. Keep the sample of this conference in front of everyone. Give the experience of what the avyak stage is. Everyone should see the clock of the time in your activity. You're going as the clock of time. Just as Sakar Baba became the clock of time, in the same way, while having a body, you have to strike the hour of the avyak stage. This is the best service of all. You have to teach everyone the practical lesson of the experience of the avyak stage while in the corporeal body. You have to become a bead and be threaded in the thread of the rosary of the love of Bab Dada and the Divine Family. You should have the intoxication that I am a bead that is threaded in the thread of love. You relate to yourself as nothing short but that bead of the rosary. I am a bead that is threaded in the thread of love. Where are beads kept? Even in religious practices, where people are doing malas, when तो mala japna bolte hain, when they keep on praying with the mala, where do they keep those beads? The beads of a rosary are kept with great care and cleanliness. They would keep it in the temple. Even if it is in their house, they'll keep it in a neat and a clean place. They will not just keep it anywhere. The beads of a rosary are kept with great care and cleanliness. People take them up with great care and cleanliness. You have to consider yourself to be such an invaluable jewel. So when someone asks for advice on service, Baba says that they will not be served through words, but they will be drawn to you when your activity makes an impact and they see change. Again, Baba is emphasizing on it's not only good words that will make a difference, but they will be drawn to you when your activity makes an impact. Your actions out of the dharnas that will make an impact, and they see that change. Some have arrogance. Some people have arrogance. So their arrogance of words would come into conflict with your words. In today's times, especially when people are highly intellect, they would challenge whatever you are saying. How come it is like this? How can you say this? How do you know the God has arrived? And various other things. So their arrogance of words would come into conflict with your words, but they would not be able to come into conflict with your practical life. So if you're a good speaker, maybe you will be able to answer them, but that may yet be not enough to convince them. But when examples and experiences that come out of your practical life, out of your application, of the learnings, of the virtues and the values, they will not be able to come into conflict. Why? Because you're a living example of that. Therefore, this is the tool with which to explain to such people. Make the atmosphere subtle. You should make the atmosphere at all the centers very magnetic so that whoever comes will only be able to see the subtle region, the subtlety, not the loudness. Anyone should experience from a distance this light in the middle of your house, of the house. Like how? A lighthouse, even if the waters are dark, that light can be seen from far. A light gives light from a distance. It draws everything to itself. So only when you're visible as a light will there be success. Having come to the Avyak Bhatti, do you experience the Avyak stage? What will you do with the experiences that you have here? Will you take them with you or will you leave them behind? Make them such companions, those experiences, make them such companions that no matter How much someone tries to separate you from this avyakt attraction, they are not able to do so. Have you made your Lokik family into an alokik family? There shouldn't be the slightest Lokik awareness while you're staying with them, living with them, fulfilling your duties, your responsibilities with them. There should not be the slightest of attachment in those Lokik relations. When you shed one body and take another, you're not aware of anything of the previous birth. So, here also, you have died a living death. Jeete ji mar jana. So, your vision and attitude of the previous birth should be finished in the same way. A Lokik service takes place only when you fill the Lokik with spirituality. What Lokik service do you do? You're doing the service of forging a connection of the soul with the powerhouse. Baba is using a technical term and an example here. You're doing the service of forging a connection of the soul with the powerhouse. When a connection has to be made between two wires, the rubber insulation first has to be removed. In the same way, your first task is to consider yourself to be a soul and become detached from the awareness of the body, and then make others detached from the consciousness of their bodies. So the awareness first comes for yourself, where you relate that you are not your body. You have an instrument in the form of your body. So your first task is to consider yourself, to relate to yourself that I am a soul and become detached from the awareness of the body. And then make others detached. Only then it is possible to make others detached from the consciousness of their bodies. How many main subjects do you have here? And what are they? There are four main subjects: knowledge, yoga, dharana, and service. Gyan, yoga, dharana, and seva. Which is the main subject in that? Have you accumulated a stock of peace from here? Do you know how you can receive blessings? The more soul conscious you become, the more blessings you receive, even without asking. Contradictorily, if you are asking, means you're again in your body consciousness. And when Baba says everything is yours, why do you need to ask? The more soul conscious you become, the more blessings you receive, even without asking. You do not receive blessings in a physical way. Here, you receive them automatically. If you did not have blessings from Bap Dada, how could you have reached this far? Bap Dada gives blessings to the children at every second. Only when we are out of our body consciousness will we be available to be receptive to those blessings ongoingly, every second. However, those who take blessings keep that many with themselves eternally. Okay, acha. Now, Abhyak Baba, Bab Dada is meeting different groups. And Baba's asking, do you have any other companion? Who is the partner who remains with you constantly? If you constantly stay in the combined form here, you will rule the kingdom in the combined form there. If you constantly stay in the combined form, you and Baba as combined together, you will rule the kingdom in the combined form there. Therefore, never become separated from your partner. Just as the four-armed image is combined in the same way, this partner is also combined. Never let Shiv Baba be separated from you. In the 84 births, have you ever seen such a partner? With every birth in Lokik life, the partners change. But there is one partner who's constant throughout the 84 births, and that's Shiv Baba. So in the 84 births, have you ever seen such a partner? Out of your 84 partners, did you ever find such a partner? So you should keep the one you find only once in the whole cycle with you all the time, should you not? Now remember that you are a couple. You're not alone. Just as you are hard workers in physical tasks, are you hard workers in the stage of the mind? So much so that you never melt under any circumstance. Hard things do not melt. In this same way, both your stage and your actions should be firm. The one for whom you have deep love is always kept with you. Always think, I am an image that is combined. If your partner is with you, Maya will not be able to come. To consider yourself to be the combined stage is the greatest yukti. When you keep Baba with yourself at every stage, there is courage, there is power, and so Maya does not come. Baba has given such a simple and a powerful access to maintain the Avyak stage and do the service, that all the time consider yourself to be in the combined state, that you and your partner are together. And if you both are together, there is no way that Maya could come. All of you are godly students. Having become double students, what aim have you kept for the future? What do you consider to be an elevated status? Will you become Lakshmi or Narayan? According to the aim you keep, what else do you have to imbibe together with the aim? Aim means to have divine virtues. Simple. The aim means to have those divine virtues. Since you have such an elevated aim, you also have to pay attention to imbibing such an elevated character. A young Kumari can perform a great task. If you stabilize yourself in your practical stage and explain to someone, then the influence of that will be greater than that of an adult. Always keep this aim. I, a young one, have to carry out a very great task. Your body may be small, but the power of the soul is great. Look at children, how quickly they can influence you. always keep the same. I, a young one, have to carry out a very great task. Your body may be small, but the power of the soul is great. Someone who has a desire to make more effort also receives help. Simply keep your desire determined, and then you will receive determined help. No matter how much someone tries to shake you, keep this aim very firm. If your thought is firm, then such a world will be created. You may continue with worldly service because worldly service is also a method with which you can do service. Think that this service is an instrument to give this message to whatever souls come into relationship with you. If you're embodied with virtues, the only thing that they'll get from you is that many souls come into connection with you while you're doing the Lokik service. Those who came here were also sent to their relatives for service, were they not? So think that you're doing worldly service in order to do this service, and then you will be able to engage your mind in that, and you will also earn an income. Do Lokik service considering it to be a Lokik, and you will not then be affected by any other atmosphere. As you begin to reach your Avyak stage, your speaking will become less. So that's going to be the homework for today, to catch yourself. Whenever you feel that you're going to talk something, going to say something, ask yourself, is it necessary? Do I need to speak? By speaking less, there will be greater benefit, and you will then do service with that power of yoga. The power of yoga and the power of knowledge are both together. At the moment, service is being done with the power of knowledge, whereas the power of yoga is incognito. However, the more you make the power of yoga and the power of knowledge equal, the more success there will be. Throughout the day, check to what extent was there the power of yoga and to what extent was there the power of knowledge. And then you will know the difference. When you become busy in service, obstacles, etc., will also be removed. When you become busy in service, obstacles, etc., will be removed. There cannot be any hindrance when there is determined faith. You're moving forward well. You have both virtues of tirelessness and consistency. Always follow the Father. Just as the corporeal form showed the example of being tireless and consistent, become an example for others in the same way. This is seva. This is service. You may not have time for service, but you can do service through your activity. And when you're doing service through your activity, you don't need to take out separate time to do the seva. Service takes place through your activity, not only through words. Your activity will remind others of the Father without an image. This is easy service, is it not? Some people or some wives keep a picture of their guru or their husband in a locket. It is a sign of love. Similarly, your forehead should show the activity of the one without an image. People must be left with the experience of the combined form, even without knowing it. Your eyes should show an image of the one without an image. Wear such eternal locket. Through this, you will be aware of yourself, and there will also be service. Om Shanti. Let's take a couple of moments to go through what Baba said today, along with yesterday in this Murli, and then be ready to share your experiences and your takeaways. Yes, you can unmute yourself and start sharing.
Om Shanti Ji, Paisavji and everyone else. My takeaway point will be moving forward. I will always consider Baba as my life partner. In combined form, I will consider myself. I will never feel alone now. So, never alone. So I will change 1 to 2. So we are in combined form forever. Baba will be with me 24/7 during each interaction. So this will be my homework moving forward. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Thank you, sister.
Om Shanti, brother. There are so many points I take away. I will read some of the points, brother. Yesterday's Murli, first point is when service finishes, the stage of coming into sound will also finish. Secondly, Baba wants genuineness in the conference. That is, when we speak means all others experience that we are speaking in a bodiless state beyond sound. Third one, those speakers should appear to be visibly different from the Brahmin speakers, even from a distance. Only then will the conference be successful. Fourth one, Baba told, until now there has been no one in the world who can give that sweetness in the mind. Another point, the subjects that are created or not created just through words, but through the internal stories. Only that is called the experience of internal happiness. So many points that today's Murli, you have to become a bee and to be threatened in the thread of a rosary of the love of Bapdada and the divine family. So many points, very beautiful points. I have taken so many points for this.
All the points to be taken into practical practices from now on. Yes, Satish Bhai, Girja Ben, Kartika Ben, Sandhya Ben, Sonia Ben, yes.
Shanti, brother. Yes, as somebody just said, I was trying to link what did Baba start yesterday. And today it was like, how whenever, I don't know whether you have come across such books on public speaking. There they tell you everything. And one thing which always I remember, which Baba mentions at the end, and which you said is takeaway, was the proverb, brevity is the wit of a soul. I remember that the main thing which I gathered when they are in public speaking, how in clever people can tell big things in a small way, intelligently. So that what I learned when you said at the end, that one thing I remember, brevity is the wit of a soul. As somebody rightly said, it is a murli of so many things. I think if we could sit down and write down the points, there would be a thing. But this one thing really attracted me. What I say about is in the last paragraph. There were two things which attracted me. One thing is, I am Shiv Shakti. This I am Shiv Shakti, where Baba says, are you always with your partner? So when I'm in service, I remember that, Baba, am I saying correct? Do you think I'm okay? Do you think those people are seeing you? I don't want them to see me, Baba. I want them to see you. So that one thing, what I felt was whenever service was done, I always saw, is my Baba close to me? Because next event, Baba, what did I write? I'm speaking something else. Come on, please come and help me. Because I can't see, I can see those people looking here and there. So that the second last paragraph, are you with your partner? So that one thing, am I with my partner in service at every moment? Because this is not a Lokik service. This is something to reveal the incognito to these cognito people. And it's not an easy task. So for that, Baba summarizes in the last paragraph. He said, check your aim, see your virtues, see your character, stabilize. And then he says, first to do your public speaking at home. That is, charity begins at home, then go to worldly service. Then he speaks about the powers. Then like yesterday or the other day, he says, have a faith, tireless, be constant. Then just see your stage. But for all this to end up, I would just say, speak less, reveal more through your forehead and eyes. That is, as I end with my famous quote, brevity is the wit of a soul. Shanti.
At times, many of us may have a lot of knowledge and spark people that we become over a period of time. We feel that when a situation comes, start giving tons and tons of those knowledge to people. But at that time, to maintain a silent stage and to channelize the knowledge into minimal words, which will be coming out of your own experiences rather than only insights, that is actually that makes a difference. And when this is what I learned over a period of time, then I used to say this earlier, which after realization, I stopped saying that because I stopped believing that. There is a reason that we give by saying easier said than done. बोलना आसान है, करना आसान नहीं है. And the question that I asked myself when I got this insight was that if causing something is difficult, is suffering easy? अगर वो easy नहीं है, तो क्या suffering easy है? And given that even that is not easy because there is a cost that you pay for even for that, then why not channelize your energies into causing something and moving ahead rather than resisting it? And this has been my access to gracefully grow in the spiritual world. I yet have a long way to go. But wherever I have reached so far is thanks to this thought process that, yeah, suffering is also not easy. Then why not give myself to causing myself? So this just came up to me when you talked about what you talked right now. Yes, Tejaswini Ben.
Today's takeaway, which I like very much, was Baba says that we should have the intoxication that I am a bead that is threaded in the thread of love, and those beads of rosary are kept with great care and cleanliness. And Baba also says that people take them with great care and cleanliness. And further going ahead, Baba says they will not be served with words, but they will be drawn to us when our activity makes an impact and they see a change. And how to come over arrogance is somehow arrogance, so that arrogance of words would come into conflict with your words. And the best part which I liked was, but they would not be able to come into conflict with our practical life. So this is a very nice tool which I liked, and I would like to implement this. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Yeah, it is not only arrogance from others, but arrogance within our own self. Very rightly that you pointed out that, yeah, when you raise yourself to that level, you'll not need to give an answer to that arrogance. The arrogance will get its own answer.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, brother.
Yes.
Thank you.
Om Shanti. I like this particular concept that वाणी से वाणी अहंकार के पत्थर में आ जाती है. I mean, there are limitations of the words, and as we said, it could be arrogance of the self or arrogance of the others, which might get into the conflict. So the best way out, Baba is giving a practical way that make Vayumandal avyakt, make the atmosphere avyakt. And that is where we can use the light actually instead of the sound. If the light is used to communicate from heart to heart, then it could be it's a more effective way, and it will make the entire atmosphere very attractive. Akarshan mein. Om Shanti.
Yeah, even scientifically it is said, no, light travels faster than sound.
Yes, and it's more impactful also. Like
It's impactful.
laser can cut tons of steel in very few seconds.
Yeah.
Whereas sound, it can only reverberate and vibrate, but it cannot cut the hard steels and all.
Yeah.
Om Shanti, brother. My takeaway today is Baba said you can do through your activities. So it is not take much time. Even you have to do service other than that. So it is very good to reveal through your activities. So each activity, what we are doing, even walking, doing ordinary works also, if we do in that avyakt stage, then I think we can reveal easily. Om Shanti, brother.
Yes. Your chehra, your chal, and your chalan, it speaks for you.
The only thing is we have to be in that awareness, soul consciousness, anything related to knowledge, so or through our divine form. So anything related to our jnana, if we are in that awareness, then our activity is automatically like that.
Yeah, and the awareness comes from making yourself available to constant practice. Like one of the practices that Baba himself was uh, having was all the time he used to speak and write, I am a soul. So even when we are fulfilling our Lokik duties, the constant awareness that is there. Many places we see some people put Gayatri mantra or they put Ganesh Ji's mantra and it keeps on playing in the background. The same way, inside you, continuously, you keep on playing the music, which keep on saying that I am a soul, I'm a soul, I'm a soul. And this is something that has really worked. I've been practicing that at on and off. Yes, I do get into my body consciousness and I catch myself and I come back. But that awareness, that agility will come once you start doing those practices up to a stage where you may not need to take conscious efforts to remind yourself. So I guess that's the journey.
Actually, Baba says that the Marjiva, this concept, can be used. Baba has touched upon Marjiva concept that I have uh, got detached from the Lokik and got a rebirth in the Alokik. लौकिक में अलौकिकता बढ़ने से ही अलौकिक सर्विस. That once I practice this again and again, that I have already Baba, I have already died in the the Lokik. Nothing is mine in this Lokik, and I am reborn. I have taken rebirth in the Alokik. So all the things get transformed from the sound to the light form, beyond sound form. And then connection with the powerhouse. When I am in the Alokik, then I am connected to the powerhouse. So Baba has given this here in this. I think that's also something which takeaway for me, that how to get connected to a powerhouse. Om
Yeah.
Shanti.
And all these things right now, we have a good opportunity to practice with Diwali coming up and with we getting to meet up with a lot of people, a lot of souls that we will be meeting up, exchanging Diwali wishes, having gatherings. This is the time to actually take on practicing, doing some net practice on the learnings that Baba has given through this Murli. All right. Anyone else?
Shanti Vida. Today my takeaway point, very important, that I will never be separated from my partner, that is Shivama. And very beautifully in Murli it has been told, Baba has told that one for whom you have deep love is always kept with you. And I will remain as an image that is combined, means my partner will always be with me. And secondly, actually I speak too much, so today again, my takeaway point is I will think before speaking that whether it is necessary or not. I want to get rid of this habit. So my takeaway point, these two I will remember. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Baba.
Yeah, it is simple.
Ji.
Keep on catching yourself. That do I need to say what I want to say? Is it really necessary? And every bhakti that would be there, Baba would always say that, okay, not only practicing mukh come on, but also practicing man come on. This
Ji.
time when I went for the bhakti, Baba also said mobile come on. So,
Ji.
so giving silence to your speech, keeping away from gadgets, and also silence of the mind. So the lesser you talk inside your mind,
Ji.
yeah, that is something that Janki Dari did, where she slowed down. She had this power of entertaining very less thoughts. I'm
Ji.
sure Satish Bhai will be having some experience to share. Satish Bhai, I haven't heard from you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah, yes. Okay, so Akiben, if you can put some light music before we do a meditation in silence. Let's practice silence.
I shall
Let's
do that.
watch the let's watch the thoughts that are coming in the mind. See the urge of things showing up uh, inside. Whatever is coming up, how can you kind of calm yourself, stabilize yourself? So we'll do the meditation in silence today. And before we move on to that, I want to share with you about the session on Sunday. Sunday is going to be Murli Manthan on the Murli dated 22nd January 1969, uh, shortly after Baba became Avyakt. And Manoj Bhai Matnani is going to be conducting that session. And the context of it is that it's going to be connecting it with the spiritual significance of Diwali. So my request to all the angels is to read the Murli and be ready for that session. Yes, Rajnaman, you want to say something?
Om Shanti Pada, you mentioned the date of the Murli as 22nd January 69. Did I hear it correctly? It's not 70 and it's 69?
Yes, Rakhiman, it's 69, right?
Yes, the correction, Ramesh Bhai, that's a mistake from my end. It is
Okay,
22nd January 1970.
okay. Thank you for pointing out, sister. Yes, it is 22nd January 1970. Okay, so yes, please prepare yourself and uh, come on the session. Yes, Rakhiban, can we, or Amiben, can we have some light music, please?
Yes.
Thank you, Divine Family. Thank you, Baba. Om Shanti. Have a great day. And we shall meet tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock.
Om Shanti, brother.
Thank you, brother, for nice session. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Divine Family.